She posted, "I'm having his twins, and everyone should know." I stayed silent, saving every fake ultrasound and every message she sent my infertile best friend, until her confession audio hit the net, and the lie that nearly destroyed me ended up destroying her instead. We'd been broken up for exactly 7 days when my phone started blowing up. It was a Saturday morning, one of those lazy ones where you don't even look at the time. I was sitting on my balcony with coffee, finally beginning to feel the weight of the breakup lift a little, when my coworker, Brian, sent me a screenshot with a dozen laughing emojis. "Brian, dude, is this real?" I opened it and froze. It was her, my ex, Samantha, smiling, holding a cheap plastic pregnancy test, and captioned, "Guess who's having twins?" Smiling face with hard eyes, sparkling heart, blue heart. "He's gonna be such a great dad. Even if he doesn't know it yet," winking face. Then, a tag. My username. My full name. Even my workplace. Within an hour, the post had over 200 comments. Her friends congratulating, her relatives tagging each other, coworkers messaging me like I was part of some sitcom. I just sat there, coffee going cold in my hand. The truth? We'd broken up because she'd cheated. She'd been seeing someone else, and I'd found out the old-fashioned way, through a dumb notification from her private Instagram account, where she'd accidentally posted a beach photo of the two of them. I'd ended things quietly. No drama, no shouting. Just packed my stuff, left her apartment, and didn't look back. That was a week ago. And now, apparently, I was the father of twins. I didn't comment, didn't like, didn't deny, just screenshotted everything. Captions, comments, timestamps. I knew Samantha. She lived for attention. If I confronted her publicly, she'd spin it as he's abandoning me or he's denying his kids. No, I wasn't going to feed her that. Instead, I stayed silent and started building a case. That night, she texted me, "Samantha, I know this is a lot, but I want us to be civil for the babies." Me? What babies? Samantha, ours. I'm 6 weeks along. Don't make this harder than it has to be. I didn't reply. Instead, I called my cousin, a paralegal, told him everything. He laughed, then got serious. "Start saving everything. Screenshots, messages, photos, anything she posts. And don't respond emotionally, just document." So I did. Every time she updated her journey, fake sonogram, baby registry, crying selfie about how I'd abandoned her, I saved it. Google Drive folder. Time-stamped. Dated. Organized. But then she crossed a line. 3 days later, she messaged my best friend, Eli. What she didn't know, what made all of this so cruel, was that Eli couldn't have kids. He'd lost that ability after a childhood illness. "Samantha, I know you always wanted to be a dad. I can't stop thinking about that. If he doesn't want to be involved, maybe you could." Eli sent me the screenshot. He was shaking when we met for coffee the next day. "Man, I don't even know what to say." "I'm sorry. You didn't do anything," I said. "She did." That's when I realized this wasn't about me. She wasn't trying to hurt us. She was trying to perform. She wanted pity, validation, control, and the internet was her stage. The next week, she posted an ultrasound. Grainy, obviously fake. Reverse Google image search. First result, stock photo from a parenting blog, uploaded in 2017. I kept everything, and I waited. Because one thing about Samantha, she always overplayed her hand. 2 weeks after her first post, the situation had already spiraled. Her story wasn't just online gossip anymore. It was spreading. Her family started reaching out. Her mom emailed me saying she didn't want to get the courts involved if I just did the right thing. My HR department pulled me into a meeting because someone had anonymously emailed screenshots of her posts to my boss, claiming I'd abandoned a pregnant partner. Samantha's manipulation had evolved into a full campaign. But I stayed calm. Cold, even. Because I knew if I lost control, I'd lose everything. Eli and I started digging. He worked in IT, and that meant he could help me verify everything. We went through her Instagram posts, checking timestamps, metadata, cross-reference stories she'd deleted. One post claimed she'd had a 6-week scan on March 12th, but her location tag showed she'd been at a wine bar that same evening. And there were dozens of little contradictions like that. Wrong dates, wrong hospital, fake ultrasound ID numbers. So I gathered them, one by one. But then came the message that made my blood run cold. "Samantha, we need to talk. You're making me look crazy, and that's not fair. I'm not the bad guy here." Me. Then tell the truth. Samantha, you'll regret it if you don't play along. That line, you'll regret it, was what I needed. I took the text to my cousin, who looped in an attorney he knew. The lawyer's advice was simple but sharp. She's committing defamation, fraud, and possibly harassment. Don't react. Record. We'll build the case quietly. So I did. Then Eli got a message that changed everything. Samantha, to Eli, I feel guilty about the twins. There are no twins. Not even one. I panicked after he left and didn't know how to fix it. She sent that in a voice note. Her tone was slurred, drunk, probably crying, but it was crystal clear. Eli immediately forwarded it to me. I played it over and over, pacing the room, heart hammering. It wasn't joy I felt, it was disbelief. She'd actually admitted it. Out loud. That audio was gold. I backed it up in 3 places: cloud, external drive, and a USB in a fireproof box. Then I sent a copy to my lawyer. He replied within minutes. Do not confront her. Yet. Let's handle this legally. But life has a sense of timing. Because 3 days later, she posted a video crying on her story, saying I'd hacked her accounts, stolen her medical files, and was trying to ruin her reputation. That was the last straw. I filed a report at the local police station for online harassment and false public allegations, attached the screenshots, the fake ultrasound, and, most importantly, her confession audio. The detective I spoke with, a calm middle-aged woman named Torres, listened to the clip twice, then looked at me and said, "You did the right thing by documenting everything. You'd be shocked how often people think the internet makes them untouchable." Within a week, Samantha's tone changed. Her posts disappeared. Her account went private. Then one day, it vanished altogether. But she wasn't done. She emailed me directly. "You didn't have to go this far. You've ruined my life." "No," I wrote back. "You did that yourself." She didn't reply. Then, something unexpected happened. Her brother, who'd always been distant during our relationship, reached out. He texted, "I heard what happened. I'm sorry. She's been struggling mentally for a while. The pregnancy thing wasn't about you. It was about control." He sent me a photo of her in therapy, saying she'd finally confessed everything to their family. The lies, the fake ultrasound, the posts, even the voice memo. I didn't reply to him either, because at that point, I wasn't looking for closure. I already had a update one. It's strange how fast chaos can quiet down once the truth finally cuts through the noise. The week after Samantha's accounts vanished, the constant notifications, the gossip, the threats, the pity DMs, all stopped. But silence doesn't always feel peaceful. Sometimes, it feels like standing in the wreckage after a storm, realizing everything you once recognized is gone. It was a Tuesday morning when the letter came. Cream envelope, heavy paper, expensive lawyer's watermark stamped across the corner. Inside, our client, Miss Samantha R., requests an amicable resolution to recent misunderstandings and wishes to avoid legal escalation. The tone was soft, too soft, like they were trying to rewrite what had happened. Like the twins, the defamation. And the months of emotional warfare had just been a misunderstanding. I sent the letter straight to my lawyer. He skimmed it, raised an eyebrow, and smirked. "They're panicking," he said. "They want you to drop the complaint. Don't respond directly. I'll handle it." 2 days later, I got a call from Detective Torres. Her voice was steady, but there was a trace of satisfaction in it. "Mr. Mendez, we reviewed the case. The evidence, the screenshots, the falsified medical documents, and the recording, it's solid. We've confirmed the ultrasounds were stolen from a fertility forum and edited with fake patient IDs." I didn't know whether to laugh or scream. Months of stress, isolation, and humiliation, all because she dragged random images from the internet and called them her proof. Torres continued, "She's being charged with defamation, identity fraud, and online harassment. But off the record, I think she's unwell. This might end up being diverted to a mental health program instead of jail time." I nodded, even though she couldn't see it. Because the truth was, I didn't want her jailed. I just wanted my name back. My peace. Eli came over that night with 2 beers. We sat on my balcony overlooking the city, not saying much. He finally broke the silence. "You know, man, I keep thinking about that voice note. How she said, 'I didn't know how to fix it.' Maybe she thought this was the only way to stay connected to you." "Yeah," I said quietly. "And maybe she forgot that love without honesty is just manipulation in a prettier outfit." We drank in silence after that. Weeks passed. The gossip faded. At work, people finally stopped giving me that pitying glance in the hallway. Then one afternoon, my manager pulled me aside. He handed me a sealed envelope and said, HR wanted to pass this to you. Came through internal mail. Inside was a handwritten letter. From Samantha. You were good to me. I know that now. I let my fear of being forgotten make me someone I don't recognize. I'm sorry for what I did, for all of it. The posts, the lies, the pain. I don't expect forgiveness. Just, I hope you find someone who doesn't need to destroy you to feel loved. The letter ended with one last line. Tell Eli thank you for recording what I was too ashamed to admit. I sat with it for a long time. Didn't cry. Didn't smile. Just felt the weight of it. Then I burned it. Not out of anger. Out of finality. After that, life slowly went back to normal. I took time off work, traveled a bit, met new people, learned to trust again, not instantly, but piece by piece. But every now and then, when my phone buzzes at 3 a.m. or someone posts something dramatic online, my stomach still twists, like an old scar reminding me it's there. Because the truth is, surviving a lie like that doesn't just teach you about trust. It teaches you how fragile your reputation can be, how quickly empathy can turn to entertainment in the eyes of strangers. A few months later, Detective Torres called me one last time. Just wanted to update you. Samantha completed her mental health program. She's in therapy and off social media, permanently, it seems. I thanked her, and before hanging up, she said something that stuck with me. You handled this with grace. Most people don't. I don't know about grace. But I handled it with evidence and silence. And sometimes, that's the same thing. That night, I went through my old photos, deleted every picture of her. Then I opened one last folder, the one that had the fake ultrasound screenshots, the messages, the audio clip. And I deleted those too. It was over. Finally, completely, over. Final update that it's funny how peace doesn't come with fanfare. There's no confetti, no emotional soundtracks swelling in the background. It's quieter than that. More like the soft hum of city life outside your window when you finally sleep through the night without checking your phone. That's how it felt. Months later, when the dust had settled, the noise had died down, and I realized my life had started moving again. It began with a camera click. I was sitting at a small coffee shop I'd recently discovered, tucked between an old bookstore and a flower stall that always smelled faintly of jasmine and rain. I'd gone there every Thursday for weeks, laptop open, pretending to write. Across the street, a woman stood by the window display of the antique shop, holding an old film camera, laughing softly as she tried to capture the reflection of a passing tram. Something about that laugh, unfiltered, genuine, reminded me of who I used to be before all of this. The next week, she sat 2 tables away. We exchanged polite smiles. She ordered a cappuccino and dropped her keys. I picked them up. That was the start. Nothing cinematic, just real. Her name was Leah. She was a freelance photographer, the kind of person who saw beauty in chipped paint and cloudy sunsets. She talked with her hands, laughed at her own jokes, and listened, really listened, when I spoke. It took me a while to tell her everything. Not the details, just the truth. One evening, as the sky dimmed behind the glass and the smell of roasted beans filled the air, I said quietly, someone once tried to ruin my life online. They almost did. She didn't look shocked or pitying. She just tilted her head, asked, did you let them? I thought about that for a moment. Not completely, I said. She smiled. Then they didn't win. Simple. Steady. The kind of reassurance that doesn't come with promises, just presence. Over time, Leah taught me small lessons I didn't know I needed. That you can rebuild trust without interrogations. That you can love again without forgetting what almost broke you. And that sometimes, healing doesn't look like revenge or vindication. It looks like quiet mornings and shared coffee spoons. One Sunday afternoon, we went for a walk by the river. The air was crisp. The city shimmered in the reflection of the water. She stopped, raised her camera, and said, hold still. You look like someone who just let go of something heavy. I laughed. She snapped the photo. That picture now sits framed on my desk. Every time I look at it, I see not a man who survived a scandal, but a man who finally stepped out of one. A few weeks later, I ran into Samantha's mother at the grocery store. It was awkward. Her hands froze over a basket of oranges. She looked older, softer, tired. She's getting help, she said quietly. She talks about what she did. She's sorry. I nodded. I hope she finds peace, I said. And I meant it. Because by then, I'd realized forgiveness wasn't for her. It was for me. Now, a year later, I've moved to a quieter part of the city. New apartment, new work, new people. The chaos feels like another lifetime. Leah's photos hang on my wall. Cityscapes, coffee cups, reflections in rain puddles. One of them, my favorite, is of a small white envelope burning in an ashtray. She titled it Closure. When people ask what it means, I just smile and say, everything. Some nights, I still think about how one lie almost destroyed me, and how truth, silence, and time built me back stronger. But mostly, I think about how lucky I am that life gives you second chances, not always with the same people, but always with yourself. And that maybe, the real victory isn't proving someone wrong. It's simply learning how to live right.